I really was having a bad time during my master's degree, mostly because of the study not being what I expected it to be. During the master's program, a lot of focus was put onto things I had already learned here during anthropology. And this was on top of other work that was more interesting and more new to me. So that was a shame, and it took up a lot of time and energy. And I really consulted myself, like if this goes on for 2 more weeks like this, then maybe I should stop. But stopping had so many consequences. I also thought, like, I have been studying for a long time because I started with journalism, took a year in between, did a bachelor, took a year in between, started a master's degree. So in that way, in that sense, if I didn't finish the master within 1 year, I guess, then that would have serious repercussions financially. But also, if I didn't finish a master, then I would have only done a bachelor, and in some way that didn't seem right. Or I would have to find another master, but then I would be out of this 10-year period, so it would be more expensive, or so. There were problems with that. While I was studying, I had to find a room. And this was, I think, the biggest problem for me all the time, because as you might know, there are like thousands of rooms not there where they should be. I started looking for all kinds of opportunities, and I ended up in an anti-squat house, which was pretty good, and I could stay there for over 2 years. But then you only have like 2 weeks in advance you will hear you have to leave. Overall, I had to move 8 times in the past 8 years. So that was a drain, and quite hard not to have a home where you can stay and you know you're safe. In the period where I had to move like every few months or every year, you always have this, it's not really a voice, of course, but it's a feeling in the back of your mind. At some point you will have to move, you have to get everything in boxes again, and you don't know where you go, you don't know how you will end up. So it's not good for you, definitely not in the long run. So the work that I do right now, like being a video producer, that is kind of a weird story, I guess, because during my bachelor I went to Guatemala to do my research, final research, and there I met this guy from the United States, and he went somewhere. He said, I'm a filmer, I'm a videographer. Let me do a job for you, and you give me a place to stay and food. And that worked for him quite well. So that opened my eyes, like, oh wow, he isn't the best of videographers, but he gets to do what he wants wherever he wants in exchange for some work, and it's a creative job. So that made me think I can do this. Having worked for others and other companies, this is really fitting for me as a person, not to have to explain myself every time. I can say no to something if I don't want to do it. Of course, there are still things you have to do, like crunching the numbers, keeping track of papers, but it's on my own terms in some sense. Starting a business and growing it during my studies is something I'm definitely proud of. Also just doing it because it didn't seem like the logical step to make for me, considering how I was as a person. Like more to myself, more closed, So to go out to another city and study there, yeah, I guess I'm proud of that. Yeah, if I had to sum up what I learned from my studies, it is that sometimes you make choices where you just have to take a step back and accept you've wasted time, or accept that you've learned a lesson, I guess. There have been instances where I would now say it would have been better to back off and go another way.